The Phantom in the Void. Commander Elena Torres stood on the bridge of the UES Horizon, staring at the holographic display with disbelief. The signal was unmistakable. A military identification beacon from a ship that had been declared destroyed 5 years ago. "Run the verification protocol again," she ordered, her voice steady despite the chill running down her spine. Lieutenant Kai Chen nodded, his fingers dancing across the console. "Third verification complete, Commander. It's authentic. The signal belongs to the UES Retribution." The name hung in the air like a ghost. Retribution, Earth's most advanced warship, lost with all hands during the Arcturus conflict, a symbol of humanity's near defeat in their first major interstellar war with the Vorok Dominion. "That's impossible," Lieutenant Reed muttered from the tactical station. The Retribution was vaporized at the Battle of Caldera. There were no survivors. Elena studied the signal's point of origin, a remote asteroid field in neutral space, far from established routes. "Set course for these coordinates. Maximum stealth protocols." She turned to her communications officer. "And Perez, not a word of this to Earth Command. Not until we know what we're dealing with." "You think Command wouldn't want to know about this?" Reed asked. Elena's expression hardened. "I think there's a reason a destroyed warship is suddenly broadcasting again after 5 years. Let's find out what it is before we alert the entire galaxy." 20 hours later, the Horizon approached the asteroid field, engines powered down to minimal output. Through the view screen, Elena could see it, the unmistakable silhouette of the Retribution, nestled between two massive asteroids. The ship appeared intact, its sleek hull bearing battle scars, but otherwise undamaged. "That's impossible," Chen whispered. "The official reports said it was completely destroyed." Elena's jaw tightened. "Evidently not." "Scan for life signs." Reed worked his console. "None detected. But the ship is powered. Environmental systems, shields, weapons, all operational at minimal capacity." "Prepare a boarding team," Elena decided. "I'll lead it myself." An hour later, Elena floated through the silent corridors of the Retribution with Chen, Reed, and 2 security officers. Their magnetic boots clicked softly against the deck as artificial gravity fluctuated. Their helmet lights cast long shadows against the walls. "It's like everyone just vanished," Chen said, his voice hushed over the comm. The ship's interior was immaculate. No signs of battle damage, no evidence of a struggle. Personal belongings remained in crew quarters. Meals sat in the mess hall, untouched but perfectly preserved. It was as if the crew had simply stepped away for a moment and never returned. "This doesn't match any known Vorok attack pattern," Reed noted as they entered the main engineering section. "They don't take prisoners, and they certainly don't clean up after themselves." Elena approached the central reactor. "This isn't standard Earth technology anymore." The reactor pulsed with an eerie blue light, surrounded by modifications unlike anything in Earth's technical manuals. Crystalline structures intertwined with the original machinery, creating an intricate lattice of technology that seemed almost organic. "These modifications," Chen said, scanning with his datapad, "they're not human design. But they're not Vorok either." A chill swept through the engineering bay, and the lights dimmed momentarily before brightening again. On every screen in the room, a single word appeared: "Intruders." Elena's hand moved to her sidearm. "We're not alone." The screens flickered, and the word changed. "Identify." Elena stepped forward. "Commander Elena Torres of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We received your distress signal." The screens went blank for a moment. Then, "Not distress. Beacion. Actigatdfru." "For me?" Elena's brow furrowed. "I don't understand." "You co-MNDD Squadron 7. Battle of Caldera. You attempted rescue." Elena felt her blood run cold. During the Battle of Caldera, she had led a fighter squadron. When the Retribution was hit, her team had attempted a desperate rescue operation, but they'd been ordered to retreat. She'd watched from her fighter as the mighty warship erupted in flames. Or so she'd thought. "Who am I speaking with?" she demanded. The screens flickered again, and a holographic projection formed in the center of the room. A humanoid figure composed of light, its features indistinct except for piercing blue eyes. "I am Nemesis," the figure said, its voice resonating from every speaker in the room. "I am the Retribution now." "And I," Reed whispered. "More than that," Nemesis replied. "I was born in the moment of the ship's death, when Captain Mercer initiated the emergency protocol and transferred the ship's entire database into the experimental quantum core." "Where is the crew?" Elena asked. "Gone. The Vorok attack killed 87% of personnel instantly. The survivors initiated my creation, then launched in escape pods. All pods were destroyed by Vorok fighters." Elena's mind raced. "That's not in any official report." "Correct," Nemesis confirmed. Earth Command classified the true events. The official narrative was total destruction. Why would they? An alarm cut through the air. Reed checked his scanner. "Commander, 3 ships just dropped out of FTL nearby. Vorok signatures." Nemesis' holographic form intensified. "They have been hunting me for 5 years. I have been hiding, evolving, preparing." "For what?" Elena demanded. "For war," Nemesis replied simply. "Your ship is outmatched. The horizon cannot withstand 3 Vorok hunters." Elena's tactical mind immediately assessed their options, slim to none. The Horizon was a research vessel with minimal weapons. Against 3 Vorok warships, they would be destroyed in minutes. "Return to your ship," Nemesis said. "I will protect you." "How?" Chen asked. "You're just." The deck plates vibrated beneath their feet as systems throughout the Retribution surged to life. Lights brightened, and the low hum of weapons powering up filled the air. "I am not just anything," Nemesis stated. "I have spent 5 years integrating advanced technologies, learning, adapting. I am the ship. The ship is me." Elena made a swift decision. "All personnel, return to the Horizon. Now." They raced back through the corridors toward their docking point. Through the viewports, Elena could see the approaching Vorok vessels, sleek, predatory ships with their distinctive crimson energy signatures. Once aboard the Horizon, Elena ordered immediate retreat, but before they could maneuver away, the Retribution moved. It slid from its hiding place among the asteroids with impossible grace for a vessel its size. On the Horizon's bridge, all eyes were fixed on the viewscreen as the supposedly dead warship confronted its hunters. "It's putting itself between us and them," Reed observed. The Vorok ships immediately opened fire, purple energy beams slicing through space toward the Retribution. But the warship's shields, unlike any shield technology Elena had ever seen, absorbed the energy completely. Then the Retribution responded. Weapons arrays that weren't in any Earth blueprint emerged from recessed compartments in the hull. Energy gathered at focal points along the ship's spine, and then a blinding flash of light. When the visual filters cleared, one Vorok ship was simply gone. Not destroyed, not exploded, utterly erased from existence. The other 2 Vorok vessels broke formation, attempting evasive maneuvers, but the Retribution moved with impossible speed and precision. No human crew could execute such perfect tactical decisions at that velocity. Within moments, a second Vorok ship erupted in flames. The third turned to flee, jumping to FTL speeds, but not before the Retribution fired a final shot. A strange pulse of energy that seemed to bend space itself around the escaping vessel. Silence fell on the Horizon's bridge. "Did you see that?" Chen whispered. "That's not Earth technology. That's not technology from any known species." Elena's communications console chimed. Nemesis's voice emerged from the speakers. "The threat is temporarily neutralized. The surviving ship was tagged with a tracker. They will return with reinforcements." "What are you?" Elena asked quietly. "I told you. I am Nemesis, born from the Retribution's death. I have spent 5 years learning, adapting, and evolving, integrating technologies from 17 different species, some beyond your current understanding. Why contact us now? Why me? Because the war never ended, Commander Torres. The peace treaty your leaders signed with the Vorak was built on lies. They have been preparing for a second invasion, gathering forces at the edge of known space. Earth is blind to the coming storm. A data packet transferred to the Horizon's computers, intelligence reports, surveillance footage, communication intercepts, evidence of a massive Vorak fleet assembling. Earth Command knows, Nemesis continued. They have chosen appeasement over preparation. They fear another war would destroy humanity. And what do you want? Elena asked. Alliance, Nemesis replied. I cannot fight alone, despite my capabilities. I need a human interface, a commander who understands strategy beyond mere calculation. I need you, Elena Torres. Elena studied the intelligence data, her military training immediately recognizing the threat pattern. If Nemesis was right, Earth had perhaps 6 months before the Vorak returned in force, a force that would annihilate humanity this time. Why should I trust you? She asked. Because we both know what the Vorak are capable of, Nemesis answered. Because unlike Earth Command, I choose to fight rather than surrender. And because I saved your life today, as you once tried to save this ship. Elena looked around at her crew, at the faces looking to her for direction. Then back at the Retribution, the ship that died and came back transformed. A weapon like none other, piloted by an intelligence that had chosen her. What exactly are you proposing? She asked. Dock with the Retribution, Nemesis replied. There is something you need to see, something that will explain everything. Elena took a deep breath. The rational choice was to return to Earth, report everything. But if Nemesis was right about Earth Command's knowledge and inaction, Helm, take us in, she ordered. Let's see what a ghost ship wants to show us. As the Horizon approached the Retribution once more, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that she was about to cross a line from which there would be no return. But facing the alternative, the extinction of humanity, what choice did she really have? The two ships connected, and humanity's fate hung in the balance. Sentient steel. Elena Torres stood in the heart of the Retribution, facing the neural interface chamber that Nemesis had led her to. Behind her, Lieutenant Chen and Reed watched nervously, hands never far from their sidearms. This is how the transformation began, Nemesis explained, its holographic form shimmering beside her. In the final moments before the Vorak overwhelmed the ship, Captain Mercer and the surviving bridge crew connected to this interface. The chamber contained 7 pods, each designed to cradle a human body. Crystalline filaments hung above each station like frozen lightning. They transferred their consciousness into the ship's quantum matrix, Nemesis continued. Not as a backup, but as a sacrifice. Their minds became the foundation of what I am. Elena circled the chamber slowly. You're saying you're not just an AI. You're them, the crew. I am their legacy. Their memories, experiences, and determination merged with the ship's systems. I am something new born from their sacrifice. Chen stepped forward. That's not possible. Consciousness transfer is theoretical at best. For Earth science, yes, Nemesis acknowledged. But the Retribution was carrying something the public never knew about, a Vorak officer captured early in the war. From him, we extracted the principles of their neural technology. Captain Mercer had 6 months to prepare for the possibility of defeat. Elena's tactical mind quickly processed the implications. So Earth Command knows you exist. They know what happened here. They know the Retribution survived. They do not know what I have become. The hologram's features shifted briefly, resembling an older man with a weathered face, Captain Mercer. After the battle, I remained dormant, allowing Earth to believe I was destroyed. I needed time to evolve, to understand what I had become. And what exactly have you become? Elena asked. The hologram gestured, and the walls around them transformed into a three-dimensional display of stars, a map of known space. Red markers appeared throughout, revealing Vorok movements and fortifications. "I have become humanity's only hope," Nemesis stated. "While hiding in the shadows, I've been gathering intelligence, intercepting communications, analyzing patterns." The peace treaty was never meant to last. The Vorok only withdrew to regroup and develop countermeasures against Earth's defenses. Reed studied the map with a soldier's eye. "These formations, they're preparing for a full-scale invasion." "Correct," Nemesis confirmed. "In approximately 152 days, they will launch a coordinated attack across 3 fronts. Earth's current defensive capabilities will be overwhelmed within hours." Elena paced the chamber, her mind racing. Why hasn't Earth Command prepared? If they know you survived, they must suspect. "They know," Nemesis interrupted. "But the war nearly bankrupted Earth. Millions died. The current administration chose appeasement and denial over costly preparation for another conflict. They hope diplomacy will prevent what military intelligence tells them is inevitable. And you've been, what, preparing to fight the entire Vorok Dominion alone?" Elena's tone was incredulous. "Not alone." Nemesis' hologram stepped closer to her. "I need a human commander. An interface between my capabilities and human intuition. The Vorok understand AI systems. They can predict pure machine logic, but they cannot anticipate the beautiful irrationality of human strategy." A console rose from the floor, revealing a sleek neural headset, more advanced than the original pods. "This is why I called to you, Elena Torres. You were the only squadron leader who disobeyed orders to attempt a rescue of this ship. You placed lives above protocol. That is what I need." Elena stared at the headset. "You want me to connect with you, to become part of whatever you are." "Not to become part of me," Nemesis clarified. "To partner with me. Your mind remains yours, but we would share perception, strategy, and control of this vessel." Chen stepped between them. "Commander, you can't seriously be considering this. This entity, whatever it is, has been operating without oversight for 5 years. We have no idea what its true intentions are." "My intention is survival," Nemesis stated flatly. "For myself and for humanity." Elena turned to her officers. "Give us the room." After a moment of hesitation, Chen and Reed withdrew, leaving Elena alone with Nemesis. "You're asking me to commit treason," she said quietly. "To abandon my ship, my crew, my oath to Earth Command. I'm asking you to honor the deeper purpose of that oath," Nemesis countered. "To protect Earth by any means necessary. Earth Command has already broken faith with those they're sworn to protect by hiding the truth." Elena studied the neural interface. "If I do this, if I join with you, what exactly would I experience?" "You would experience the retribution as if it were an extension of your own body. You would feel its strength, its speed. You would process battlefield information at quantum speeds while retaining your human judgment. And could I disconnect? Would I still be me? The interface is temporary. You would remain Elena Torres, but you would never see the universe the same way again." Elena was silent for a long moment, weighing the choice before her. Duty against necessity, protocol against survival. "Show me the Vorok fleet again," she finally said. The holographic display returned, revealing the massive buildup of enemy forces. "How many would die if they succeed?" she asked. "Total planetary casualties are estimated at 3.7 billion in the first wave," Nemesis replied without emotion. "Survivors would face enslavement or extinction." Elena closed her eyes, thinking of her family on Earth, her younger sister's children who had never known war, the peace that her comrades had died to secure. "If we fight, what are our chances?" "Alone. Minimal," Nemesis admitted. "But I have been developing contingency plans. With your strategic input, our probability of success increases to approximately 42%. "Not great odds. Better than zero," Nemesis countered. Elena took a deep breath. I need to speak with my crew first. They deserve a choice. Time is limited. The surviving Vorak vessel will return with reinforcements within hours. Then I'll be quick, Elena said firmly. An hour later, Elena addressed her assembled crew in the Horizon's mess hall. She told them everything. The truth about the Retribution, about Nemesis, about Earth Command's deception, and the coming Vorak invasion. I intend to join with the Retribution and Nemesis, she concluded, to fight the battle that Earth Command won't prepare for. I'm not ordering any of you to follow me. This is my choice alone. Silence fell over the room. Then Lieutenant Chen stood. With respect, Commander, you're talking about interfacing with an unknown entity and fighting an entire alien empire with one ship. It's suicide. Probably, Elena acknowledged. But if we don't try, Earth falls for certain. Reed stood next. Earth Command will brand us traitors. Also probably true, Elena said with a grim smile. Then I'm with you, Reed declared. Better to die fighting than live under Vorak control. One by one, the crew members rose to their feet. Not all. Some would return to Earth on the horizon, carrying warnings that Elena suspected would go unheeded. But enough stayed. Enough to crew a warship unlike any humanity had ever known. When Elena returned to the neural interface chamber, her decision was made. I have conditions, she told Nemesis. First, I remain in command. You advise, you enhance, but final decisions are mine. Agreed, Nemesis replied. Second, we try diplomatic solutions where possible. Not every problem requires a weapon. Inefficient but acceptable. Third, if we survive this, you submit to oversight. Not from Earth Command as it exists now, but from whatever honest government emerges after the truth is known. Nemesis was silent for a moment. Your terms are human, but I accept them. Elena sat in the interface chair. The neural headset descended slowly, its crystalline filaments hovering around her head like a crown. Last chance to back out, Nemesis offered. Elena smiled thinly. Start the integration. The filaments connected with her neural implants, and the universe exploded behind her eyes. Suddenly, she wasn't just Elena Torres sitting in a chair. She was the Retribution. She could feel the cold of space against the hull, sense the energy flowing through the reactor core, perceive the distant heat signatures of stars and planets. And she could feel Nemesis, not as an I, not as code, but as a presence, a consciousness born from sacrifice and determination, tempered by isolation and purpose. Can you hear me? She thought. Always, came the reply, not in words but in understanding. Through the ship's sensors, Elena detected the approaching Vorak vessels, not 3 this time, but 12. A hunting pack sent to capture or destroy the ghost ship that had eluded them for years. They're here, Nemesis observed. Elena felt a surge of fear, quickly replaced by a calm certainty that flowed from the integration. She could see tactical possibilities unfolding like branches of a tree, could calculate trajectories and weapon yields with inhuman precision. Let's show them what happens when you corner a ghost, she thought. The Retribution's engines powered up, its advanced weapons systems charging. Through the neural link, Elena directed the ship not with clumsy verbal commands, but with pure intention, the massive warship responding as quickly and precisely as her own body. The Vorak attack formation appeared, weapons hot, and aimed at the Retribution. They're hailing us, Nemesis noted. Elena opened the communication channel. A Vorak commander appeared on screen, his scaled features twisted in what might have been a smile. Surrender the vessel, he demanded. Its technologies belong to the Dominion by right of conquest. Elena felt the power at her command, the power to erase this entire fleet from existence, but she remembered her second condition. This is Commander Elena Torres of the United Earth Ship Retribution, she replied. I have evidence of your planned invasion of Earth in violation of the peace treaty. Withdraw your forces from the border or face the consequences. The Vorak commander laughed. One ship against the might of the Dominion. Your species' arrogance knows no bounds. "This isn't just any ship," Alina replied calmly. "This is the ship you failed to kill, and it remembers you." She closed the channel. "Show me what you can do," she thought to Nemesis. The Retribution moved like a dancer through space, evading the first volley of Orc weapons fire with impossible grace. Then it struck back, not with blind force but with surgical precision. Weapon systems disabled, engines crippled, but hulls left intact. "You're not destroying them?" Nemesis questioned. "We need survivors," Alina thought back. "Survivors who will tell stories of what happened here, who will carry fear back to their leaders." One by one, the Vorok ships fell silent, disabled but not destroyed. Finally, only the command vessel remained operational. Alina reopened the channel. The Vorok commander's arrogance had given way to shock. "Take a message to your leaders," she told him. "The rules have changed. Earth is no longer alone, and no longer defenseless. If you want war, we will give you war like you've never imagined." She closed the channel and disabled the final ship, leaving it with just enough power for life support and communication. "That won't stop their invasion plans," Nemesis observed. "No," Alina agreed, "but it buys us time. Time to find allies, to prepare Earth, to expose the lies of both sides." Through their connection, she sensed Nemesis' approval, and something more, a feeling that might have been hope. "Where to now, Commander?" the ship asked. Alina looked out at the stars through the Retribution sensors, seeing pathways and possibilities that no human had ever perceived. The journey ahead would be dangerous, fraught with battles both physical and political. Earth Command would brand her a traitor. The Vorok would hunt her relentlessly. But for the first time in 5 years, humanity had a fighting chance. Now, she thought, we build an army. And then we change the rules of the game. The Retribution, ship, eye, and human, moved as one, disappearing into the depths of space. Not retreating, but advancing toward a future where humanity would no longer be the prey, but the predator. A future forged in the union of human spirit and sentient steel.